miles per hour, 2.1 miles, and it's going to take about 10 minutes to get to the top. We are traveling actually on one of the safest ways to travel. The tram system is built first in 1973 by the Von Rohe Corporation out of Switzerland. Throughout Europe, trams are actually used regularly. As we go through the towers, you'll notice, as we're experiencing right now, there's just a slight swing. There'll be a little bit more of one as we come up to the next tower. Just remember, you can always count on the person you're with, ideally. If you count on anybody else, please introduce yourself first, otherwise the paperwork is a little bit lengthy. Alright, so off to your left, it is a gorgeous clear day, so you can look out and see Mount LeConte. That is the third highest mountain here in the East Tennessee area. It is part of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which covers over 500,000 acres. There are over 90 miles of trails. However, if you don't feel like hiking, there are 2 road trails you can take. One of them is down in Cades Cove. The other is actually accessible just almost across from Gatlinburg, over Gatlinburg, and that is the motor trail. Now, the reason we are slowing right down right now is because our partner tram is actually passing over the 5th tower. I'll tell you a bit more about it when we get there, but it is our tallest tower. The reason we slow down is because of these 3 cables that are carrying us. The center one is known as a haul cable. So it's hauling us up and hauling us back down. It makes sure that both of the trams get into the terminal at the same time. It's really an amazing system.
House of the tree.
The more I learn about it,
the tree in the roof.
Well, the more I know. This is my first week here, so it is a little interesting. I might miss a fact or 2. However, speaking of facts, here is the swing. So, if you enjoyed that, we have 4 more towers to go through, and if you didn't, make sure that as we approach the tower, you have something to hold on to. Exactly. Oh, you can hold on right here, sir.
Are you going one more?
Alright, so as you look out, if you are on the left-hand side, it's a little bit lower below us. There is a road with 2 yellow lines. That is Ski Mountain Road. For those who do want to drive up, it is a very curvy mountain road. No shoulder, no guardrails. It does get you to the top of OBER Gatlinburg. However, this other road we're coming up on, and you can see it to both the left and the right of the tram, that is the Gatlinburg bypass, and we're passing over it now. That is a great way to get from one side of Gatlinburg to the other, because we have about 14 million visitors each year, and it sometimes feels like they're all in downtown at the same time. So this allows you to get from one side to the other. There are 2 overlooks on the Gatlinburg bypass.
It's not very big when you look at it from here.
Oh, the 200, yeah.
That's the height. Yeah, that's the height.
All right, so right now we're getting ready to pass over a whole bunch of cabins. Roughly 1,200 cabins are part of what's known as Chalet Village. And pretty much all 1,200 of those are rental cabins. Right now you can't see them all because of these gorgeous leaves on the tree. However, as the leaves leave the tree, you will be able to see all the different varieties of people we have visiting those cabins. If you look out here to your left, there's a cabin. It's not quite up out of the trees yet. Does anybody know Dolly Parton? She lives about 247 miles west of that specific cabin. She's looking up there. Like they don't find it. love to point out, one of them is coming up here on the left. Anybody ever heard of Dunkin' Donuts? You know, the sweet yummy donuts? Well, the owner of Dunkin' Donuts built this amazing ground cabin. It's coming into view right now. It actually is known as the cliffhanger because it only sits on 6 inches of ground. Everything else is a steel piling or steel beam.
I don't know what she's talking about. Right there. Oh, here.
I see it.
Now, do we have anybody who's heard of Barbie? Anybody know who Barbie is? Yeah. So there was this guy whose daughter loved Barbie. So he wrote off to Mattel and asked them for the dream house plans, and they gave them to him. So there is this 4-story cream building with a green roof coming up here on the right-hand side. It is a complete replica of the 1970s Barbie doll dream house. It actually used to be painted pink until it was recently sold. It is an amazing house, and if you notice below it, there is another cream color house, has an orange door. It's nicknamed the dog house, or sometimes Ken's. Yeah, sometimes things aren't so wonderful. Now, as we pass through all these houses and you are able to see the roads, you might see an overturned garbage can. That means you must have just missed the bear that knocked it over. It is really important that people do close these garbage cans because the bears, especially right now, are enjoying that. All right, so we're coming up on our highest tower. I used the right phrasing. This is the time to look out and even behind us because this is your most spectacular view of the Smoky Mountains and entire region. Now, we are slowing down for this tower. It is our highest tower at 2,800 feet above sea level. 1,500 feet above Gatlinburg. In addition to these views to our back, we're going to get 2 extravagant views, one up towards Mount Harrison and one down towards the trees.
That was the area.
It is. That one has that's why we go
See that? My place.
Now, Mount Harrison is the mountain that is high up above us. You can take a lift and go up to the very top where they will often have country music playing. As we approach the terminal, just so you know, we will be slowing down. And in that, I want to make sure you understand, if you left anyone or anything downtown, and you need to get back down there, our last tram ride tonight is at 6 p.m. Technically, there's a 6:20, but you'll be joined by other employees, so we do recommend you try to get that 6 p.m. And if you did have to come back up today, the last tram from the bottom to the top is 5:40. We will possibly bump the sides as we pull into the terminal. One final thing, off to your left right now, our bears are out. This is our wildlife encounter area. We have bears, we have raccoons, wild cats, otters, and more. The wildlife encounter does close at 4:30 p.m. As we come to a stop, I do need to make my way over to the other door to let us out, unless you just want to stay in here all day.